I'm being rained on out here, aren't I? Alright, let's go inside where it's dry. Alright guys, so this is my garage in The Crew 2. I've started playing this game over the weekend, and I thought it'd be kind of fun to show you guys around just what I've collected in my car collection so far in this game. And yeah, let's get right to it. So I'm going to start with, of course, the ones that are favorited. So I've got this Acura NSX 2017 model. It's been upgraded to 223 performance points, whatever that means. As you can see, I've got these purple tires on it, which look really... I don't know how I feel about them just yet. Now, bear with me, my movements in this mode are pretty janky. Lower that window. Open up that door. And get inside. So yeah, it's a pretty nice interior. I do enjoy it. It's yeah, it's a two-seater. It's pretty nice. Let's get out of it. Alright, so next up, we've got my boat. A Proto Offshore Mark I with 111 performance points. Not really much to this. I don't know much about boats. I'm more of a car guy. And here's the inside of the cabin of my my speedboat. I don't know what any of this stuff does. I assume that's, you know, 2 tachometers for 2 engines. Because why should a boat have only 1 engine? Let's get out of there. Actually, there you go. 2 engines, 2 propellers. It's a really nice boat. It's done me pretty well in this competition. Alright, so now we have a Zivco Edge 540 version 3 aerobatics plane. The livery on this was something I downloaded just from the regular sort of... turn on the lights. Yeah, just from the regular, like, Crew 2 community hub sort of thing that they have. Let's open her up. And climb inside. Again, I don't know much about planes, so I don't really know what any of this stuff is. It's a pretty Spartan interior compared to even the boat, which, you know, it kind of has some styling to it. This is just a panel and some bars. Probably a very light airplane. So let me figure out how to close this sucker back up. Alright, so those are the 3 vehicles that are in my quote-unquote living room area. Looks like the weather has improved a bit, so yeah, let's go outside. One of the things I really like about this game in terms of just how everything's laid out is that when you're in your, like, home, you're actually still in the map. It's not like it takes you to some separate sort of mode of the game. So I can still see events like all the way out there. There's an aerobatics event out there. You can like go around, see the ocean. It's kind of pretty. Alright, so let's take the elevator to the garage. Now, I think I've filled up my garage with just about everything I've purchased in the game. I don't think I have any more room for anything. So let's start from this end. So this was the second vehicle I believe I earned in the game, which was a, let's see if I can find it here, a Proto Buggy. It's a simple off-road buggy. Very simple interior, exposed wiring. But this was the first off-road vehicle that I acquired in the game, and it served its purpose. I think it's a cool little thing, but for off-roading now, I'm using this Mercedes-Benz X-Class. Now, you actually cannot buy the Mercedes-Benz X-Class in North America because there's actually like laws in the United States about importing vehicles from Europe, any sort of commercial vehicles, actually from outside of the US. So even your Toyota Tacomas and stuff, those are built in the United States. So let's step inside and take a look at what a German pickup truck looks like on the inside. So here we go. We have a fire extinguisher because this is built for racing, but for whatever reason we still have a climate control system, a stereo, and an infotainment system. How about that? I'm just learning now that you can actually close the door in the game. Windows go down, windows go up. Alright, so that's my Mercedes-Benz X-Class. Now, I'm not doing this in the order in which I got them. I'm just going to do them as I see them. This is my Drift Mazda RX-7. Stance life, bro. This is... I've only driven this once so far. I'm going to get in the passenger seat because I'm lazy and don't want to walk around. Yeah, it's a Japanese car interior, alright. This car is not very practical for anything but drifting. So, I don't think I'll be driving this much except for in drift events. All the modifications you see on it, that's how the car came. Speaking of modifications, I'm going to do this one next just because this is the one I've most heavily modified. This was my starter car, the Mazda MX-5 Miata. I've added this bumper, the headlights, the same purple tires as my NSX, the carbon fiber hood, a hardtop, big-ass fender flares, a new rear bumper, and a big-ass wing. So, you know, let's step inside it. I've also changed the interior, added some colors to the seats and the dashboard, as you can see. This red, except for that red panel on the top of the door, all of this other red is completely new to this car. It did not have this when I first got it. Same with the carbon fiber accents on the steering wheel and the rest of the dashboard. Those were things I added, and of course I've upgraded the performance as well, but it is still probably my weakest performing street car. So here we go, Ford Focus RS. Now, my girlfriend, her sister's boyfriend, I guess that would be my brother-in-law, has a Ford Focus RS in this color. And, you know, I like that car. It's a nice car. It's a solid performer. And, you know, let's get inside this one, too. Slip into these Recaro seats, which is much easier in this game than it is in real life. And it looks just like Justin's Focus RS in here, complete with useless gauges and Ford build quality. But yeah, it is a damn fancy looking car, even in a drab color like this gray. Alright, so the next ones I'm going to show off are a little bit newer. This is my Viper GT something. Viper GTS SRT drag race car. And let me just step back from it a bit. You see the big ass drag tires and the wheelie bar on it. And yet again, somehow, this car retains a full interior, because why shouldn't it? I'm always amazed at the difference between this generation of Viper and the past Vipers on the interior. I mean, it still doesn't look like a very nice place to be compared to like a luxury car, but it's way more refined than it used to be. So let's close her back up. I've also, it came in black. I added some logos. They're all very non-committal logos. Fruit. And I just put my username on the hood on the left side. That was kind of hard to do because I had to place each letter individually. It came out even, all things considered. This is the most recent one I purchased, a Citroen C3 Rallycross car. Figure out, oh, there it is, how to get inside here. And yeah, this is definitely a rally car. I mean, we'll wait for the light to adjust. I like that they gave you the courtesy of like having a footrest in the wheel well. So this one I've only driven once so far, but I do like these Citroens. It's a shame we don't get too many French cars in Canada. They certainly are quirky. This is another new addition to the fleet, an Aston Martin Vanquish. I'm not sure if it's a V8 Vanquish or a V12, but it is a really pretty car, and I'm going to get in the driver's seat because that's the side I'm on. Wow, it has back seats. Who would have thought? Now, I got this car by simply being a member of, I guess, like the club online, and I made enough moolah on the website to buy this. So, Aston Martin. So I believe that covers cars. There is one car, and let's see if I even have a place to set it. I don't think I do. But I bought a Renault Megane RS, I think it's called. Maybe I'll have to figure out how to set it. Now, for whatever reason, my place has a hangar. I wonder if I can set... No, I can only set planes here. And, yeah, it's the same plane as the one from the living room. For some reason, it's both here and there. Because screw physics. Now I have one more vehicle to show off. And it is my boat again. No, it is my hovercraft, which, according to this, is a... Come on. Here, let me just get somewhere where I can actually read this thing. a Proto Bumblebee X, or Bumblebeaks. I don't know how to say that. But yeah, that is my hovercraft. I've used this a couple times. The hovercraft are kinda weird, because they are very difficult to control. But you never have to worry about whether you're on land or water, whereas you can accidentally beach yourself with the boats, and yeah, that's never fun. So yeah, let's see the hovercraft. Will it let me get on? I guess it won't let me get on the hovercraft to show you the, I guess you wouldn't really call it the interior of the cockpit, but yeah. So that's everything that's in my garage. Other than just the garage itself, which, as I'm at icon status 45 or something like that, is a very nice looking garage, you know. So we'll go back to the living room, and it'd be nice if there was another little place to set a vehicle so that I can actually show off my Renault Megane. But I think I'm keeping my NSX in the favorite spot for now. I may swap it out with the Aston Martin. We'll see how the Aston Martin performs. The NSX definitely has the awkward styling going for it with its. You know what? We're gonna swap out the buggy. I'm not using the buggy anymore. Alright, so that's my Renault Megane, new Renault Megane RS. And this is yet another very new addition to the fleet. Yep, that's a car interior. I decided to keep it in the, orange color that it was in when I first saw it in the store, because it was honestly the most attractive color out of all of them. It's kind of a slow, wet vehicle. I mean, I think it has a performance rating of only 96. I think my Aston Martin is a lot better than that. The Viper is a 336. I've had this thing up to actually about that many miles per hour on the Bonneville Salt Flats, which is a location you can go to in the game. In fact, you know what? Let's do it. Let's take this out on the road, and let's go to Bonneville. Since I might as well cap this video off with some sick driving. I'm not actually going to do the speed trap, I'm just going to travel there. Alright, so that's the furthest spot you can get. Also, note my lame attempt to recreate the Haken Affinity logo on the back. Actually, you know what? Let's point at that speed trap and let's see what happens. Okay, come on, let's see 300 miles an hour. 303 miles per hour. I definitely did more than 149. I did double that. Ooh, I got some boost for that. Alright, how fast am I going now? 313? Oh, let's make that faster. And the salt flat gets bumpy here, and whoa, that's it. That's the end of that. That was exhilarating. That's not how they teach you to drag race. Do not do this in real life. I wonder what happens if you drift with drag crash. Pretty much nothing. Well, that's it for this episode of me dicking around in the Crew 2. Thanks for watching.